Life of a door knocker can be tough. Having doors slammed in your face on a daily basis, people not exactly hearing what you have to say.
What?
Not the most friendly customer.
Not interested. Now get the off my property, and by the way, go get a real job.
The good news is, it doesn't have to be that way. Welcome to the Door-to-Door Mastery Podcast, where it's all about increasing your confidence, building rapport with your customers, and closing more sales. Here is your host, Paul Shakuri.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of the Door-to-Door Mastery Program. We are filming it live on video today as well. So if you're tuning into the actual podcast itself, you can actually go and check out the YouTube video as well. I'm going to upload it there and also put it on my blog over here. Hey, I love you guys, door knockers. I'm telling you, I was sleeping on an air mattress, walking to the grocery store with nothing to my name about 9 years ago. I took myself, made sure I learned how to master it because I wanted to grow a team of salespeople, which I did. I grew. And, year after year, I finally moved up to making $314,000 in a year. That's a lot of money. Seeing these big paychecks coming in day after day, it's possible. It absolutely is. Anybody can repeat it. Many have, but many have not. So in that process, because I'm a teacher by nature, I love teaching, I stopped and thought to myself day after day, why is it that some people will do very well in door knocking and others, well, they kind of just get by or they quit. And every single person that's quit that has come back to talk to me, they blame it on themselves. Self-sabotage, they really do. They say, Paul, I just couldn't get my head straight. Paul, it just wasn't for me. What wasn't for you? What? The mere fact that, we get rejected? I always tell people in trainings before you actually start, when you're doing door-to-door sales, expect to get a ton of rejection at first. Your first month, your first couple months, expect a ton of rejection. But that fades away when you start learning. When you start learning how to properly knock on doors, when you start learning how to properly talk to people and communicate your message and deliver it in a proper fashion, a proper manner, because when you start doing that and you start learning how to properly manage what you're saying and how you're saying it, because I like to say 90% of your actual reasoning as to why you got your sale is not what you said, it's how you said it and how you presented yourself. So understand that. That's a huge percentage, right? If you stop and think about it, that's a big percentage. 90% is kind of how you portray yourself, how you portray what you're saying. I hate saying pitch, but in general, it's what you're saying is your pitch. So I'm never scripted. Although when I started off, I understand everybody's going to be, scripted. Everyone's going to sound like a robot when they're talking. Yes, hi, I am Paul with Elite Security, and we are in your neighborhood because, right? Everyone's going to start off like that, and that's fine. It really is completely fine to start off like that. I'm not saying it's good, but it's fine because what happens is you get rid of those skeletons inside of you. You have to. When you start off, especially if you've never done door-to-door sales like me, when I actually did it for my first time, I've never done door-to-door sales. I graduated from business marketing. I had an actual education. And to me, it was like, I'm going to be knocking on doors? Well, this video, I'm going to actually answer more and more to your guys' emails, and I'm going to bring them up on the air, and your actual phone calls like we're going to be bringing later on in the show as upcoming episodes. But this one's going to be, again, how to overcome that not interested when you in your opener pitch. Oftentimes, this is the number one question I get from you guys. It's, Paul, I keep getting not interested and don't want it, and people don't want to talk to me. Well, how big is your office? We have an office of 25, 30 people. And are there any people who don't quite get that? Oh, yeah, all the time. I promise you, everybody gets it. However, certain people get it less than other people. Certain salespeople get it way less than other salespeople. And if that's the case, which I'm sure it is, well, why? You got to ask yourself, why is it that certain people get rejected or get, not interested off the bat more than other people, right? In order for me to give you the recipe to success in your opener pitch, we need to first break down the nitty-gritty, the details. And this is what other managers, which when I got started off, I wanted my managers to give me the details. I'm a detail type of person. So if you like the general, I'm probably not going to be the teacher for you. But if you like the details of why, I'm more than likely going to be that teacher for you. So if somebody's telling me not interested, just my personality in anything I do, I like knowing why. Because if I know and understand why a potential customer, and I always say potential customer because they're not a customer until they sign on the dotted line, right? When they sign on the dotted line and my system gets installed or my solar panels go up or my pest control technician comes and sprays their yard, that's when I actually personally believe I have the actual deal. So many people, oh man, I had 3 and they all canceled. Yeah, I'm going to do this voice. I had 3 and they all canceled. Oh, really? So they all canceled on you? Yeah. How far did they get installed? No. Did you collect payment on them? On 1. You didn't even collect payment. Did you get signature and paperwork on all 3? No, just the 1. So 3 canceled on you or 1 canceled? 1. Okay, let's talk about the one that canceled on you. So as you actually got it installed, I'm making this fun, by the way. I'm not making fun of people. But anyways, so that one that you actually got, tell me a little bit about, the sale. How did it go? Well, I knocked on their door and, they said, I'd have to check with my wife, but, I tentatively set it up. Look, tentatively setting things up. My grammar's all over the place. Tentatively setting things up. Okay. That to me personally are bonus deals if they go through. So one big thing that I love teaching new sales reps or even salespeople who are trying to, again, this whole podcast and my blog is all about, taking your sales to that next level and, staying motivated. So the reason why all the time I tell salespeople that take a look at deals that aren't solid and concrete like bonus deals is because a lot of newer sales reps or even people who aren't at the top in their field, they tend to hold on and hope that sales that are kind of are going to kind of go through and they count it as a deal. And then what does that do to how much energy and efforts they put throughout the day to getting another sale? Well, I already kind of got one. Folks, that's a recipe for disaster. And I'm here to tell you, it's also a recipe for disaster in your opener pitch and the reason why you're getting a lot of not interested. Because if you're not putting as much effort and energy into your actual opener pitch, well, what do you think you're going to get more of? I myself can go up there and get a ton of not interested. But now that I know how to overcome that and actually not get that by engaging with my customers because I know the reason why they're telling me not interested, well, I can actually close more sales. Let me start today's promo.
DoorToDoorMastery.com, your source of motivation, information, and inspiration to closing more sales. Selling door to door, that's DoorToDoorMastery.com.
That's right. That's DoorToDoorMastery.com. I got a lot of tips, a lot of information. The blog keeps growing. Even at the top, if you enter your name and email address, if you haven't already, I have a free video program, an actual 3-step process of how I break down exactly the opener pitch, your features and benefits, and the close. Yeah, I actually talk about all 3 of those in my free program. So what you basically do is you enter your information. I send you an email every single day, and I give you these videos. The first video is the opener pitch, which I did in front of a big audience of door knockers. I was actually able to get in and train these door knockers about the opener pitch, and it's about a 33-minute video. So, the more you learn, the more you actually start watching these videos over and over again. Bookmark it, come back to it, because I could tell you, and you can be listening to this podcast or this video on YouTube, and you can technically listen to it once and kind of get some things, but it's not until, remember, repetition's the key to mastery. It's not until you go listen over and over and over again, those small things, again, those details that you go, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't hear that the first time. You listen and you hear that, and then you're like, oh, let me implement that. And I'm going to get into today's email that I received about a gentleman who actually implemented my methods and started seeing an increase. This isn't magic. It may seem like it at first, because I remember when I got started knocking on doors, it seemed like door-to-door sales was like you had to be a magician to get sales. It's not. But there's a process. And until you learn that process and you learn how to implement it, that's when you're going to be closing a ton of sales. Believe me, you can do it. I believe in every single person. I don't care whether they have door-to-door sales experience or they don't. It comes down to your personality. Who are you as a person? Are you a people person? Do people actually like you? Honestly, do people actually like you? Do you know how to communicate? Because your opener pitch is all about communication. Remember, always I talk about in your opener pitch, I talk about, are people going to listen to you, especially when they know you're an actual salesperson? So when you knock on the door, people already have in the back of their mind that, oh my gosh, this is a typical door-to-door salesperson. I want to get this person off my property. It's known. And if you're scared of that, knocking on doors is probably something that, is not for you if you cannot overcome and push through that at first, because that goes away as you learn how to handle the situation. Okay. So, that's in your opener pitch. That's what's going to go on. So understanding why people are telling you not interested is the number one reason why you need to identify what it is they're basically telling you by saying not interested. They're not interested. 90% of the times you're going to know that they don't even know what you have to offer. They're just telling you not interested, which is the easy, simple solution for them to tell you what? Get off my property, right? So let's do this. Let's get started with the actual call. Let me start this intro.
Let's hear from this week's door knocker.
Can I help you?
All right. I hope you guys like that audio. It says, Paul, I subscribed to your site because I just started a new job. Well, sort of anyways. If you're listening, I just subscribed to your site because I just started a new job. Well, sort of anyways. All right. I have been working there for almost a month. So he sort of anyway started, but he's been working there for a month. And Adam, if you're listening to this, I'm not bashing you, but there's a reason why. As you listen to more and more podcasts of mine and watch more of my videos, you're going to see I love confidence in salespeople. I want to build confidence. I started this job and, this is what I'm doing and this is where I'm lacking. I know I can get better. I promise you, the way you get stronger as a salesperson is by putting your foot down and building that strength within you. I have been always longer term, the top salesperson, because no matter what, if I had a bad day, a bad week, a bad month, I always knew I was the best in my head. And if I always talked to myself and told myself I was the best and I spoke with confidence, it portrays that to my customers when I'm actually talking to them at doors. So again, I'm not bashing you. The reason why I'm telling you guys this, I want you guys to start getting stronger, getting more committed in the way you talk and the way you write emails. And always, hey, Paul, I want to thank you so much. This is what I've been doing. This is why I'm doing it. I need your help because of this. Okay. Anyways, I just started a new job, sort of anyways. I have been working there for almost a month. And while I don't actually sell anything, I represent a large energy supply company where it is necessary to actually go door to door to gain customers and clients, etc. I found your videos when I Googled, how can I make the opener of my pitch better? Honestly, I like the video I found on your site in which you broke it down in detail, the opener pitch of any. I have at times sounded scripted, but that's pretty much because I have never done such a job before and I memorized what was handed to me. Memorization, folks, memorization is horrible. It's bad. I understand in the beginning, that's what you're going to do. I'm even back in my day when I used to be a dancer, I hated the whole scripted type of dance and choreography. I hated that. I love freestyle and I love being able to do what I want when I want to do it. It's just my personality. And I noticed that it got more attention because of the fact that I was different, right? I wasn't the same as everybody else, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And the same thing with door-to-door sales. If you sound like the previous salesperson, you're going to get not interested more often. However, hold on here. Remember, this is about the opener pitch and obviously overcoming that not interested. The reason why I'm telling you that is not because I know you're newer, okay? I know you're newer and you're going to get that and you're going to do that, but you need to understand the reason why you're getting not interested, folks. Why? We're talking about why. I hope that message is clear to you. Because just like when I pitch at homeowners, I need to make sense to them. Same as, when I teach. If it doesn't make sense to you, you're not going to implement the rules. So the reason why I'm telling you that is because, again, you're getting not interested. You need to understand why. So as you become more confident, as you start less sounding scripted, less memorized, Well, what do you think happens to the not interested? Ooh, interesting, huh? Interesting how not interested goes away, right? Okay, you got that? I hope that makes sense. So, thanks to the tips from your videos and the team I worked with, I improved this week. I got 12 appointments this week, which is 3 more than my usual. Apparently not a bad number for a new guy, but everyone else averages 15 to 20. Okay, let's stop it right there. Everyone else averages 15 to 20. He's fairly new. He's getting not interested all the time. You know, I'm a day trader too, so I invest in stocks and whatnot. And normally if I believe a stock's going to go up, for example, but it's going down, there's signs. There's something in the back of my mind that says, Paul, there's a reason why this is happening. Everything happens for a reason. And I'm a strong believer about that, okay? Everything happens for a reason. If other people are doing well and you're kind of not, there are certain things that they're doing that you're not. As a matter of fact, in my Traffic Maverick program with my cousin, which we actually own an internet marketing business as well, I that was in one of my videos. Until I found out, as I was pumping weights, by the way, that's a cool video. If anybody wants to see it, let me know. Anyways, I'm like, when I found out what other people were doing and started implementing what they were doing, I got the results I desired. Anyways, that's corny. All right. But really, that's exactly how it went. Like, if there are other people who are successful, who are doing well, you just got to do what they're doing. And, when I got started in the business, selling door to door, I didn't do well. I'll be open and honest with everybody and say, I didn't, out of a team of salespeople who are high flyers. I'm telling you, these are all new guys, came out of the gate. They were doing phenomenal. These guys were seriously in a summer program making, $150,000 or a little bit more. They were doing phenomenal. We finished the second top office out of all the offices, and on top of that, what happened was, I was 5th in that office, like 4th or 5th, I think. And it killed me. It's like, I've always been top. Okay. So I wasn't the top guy to start off with my first actual 4 months. But after that 4 months, I'll tell you one thing. I stayed at the top all the time of my office. And, everybody learns. It's a learning curve that everybody learns. But the key I want to get here is, I got down. I hated the fact that I wasn't closing as many sales as the top salespeople. And yes, I wanted to quit. I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up. My manager had to talk with me and said, Paul, what's going on? You're doing phenomenal. You're making a bunch of money. Why is it that you want to quit? Because I'm not number one. And, I've always been very competitive, and it ate me alive. And he goes, you know what? The number one reason, Paul, why you're not producing, you're not succeeding is one of two things, actually. He goes, number one, you're stubborn and you want to be number one. You should be number one in you. Are you doing everything you can in your power? Honestly, yes. I wake up early. I go to the gym. I eat healthy. I do nothing but focus. I even have nightmares dreaming about me getting like 8 sales and they're canceling, or, I've gotten 10 sales. I wake up and I'm like, what? I didn't get 10 sales. Yes, that went through my mind. This is how serious I take this business, folks. This is how serious, and I want you to know as your coach, this is how serious I take it. I took it. So, after that, he goes, number 2, Paul, I need you to go and shadow what the top people are doing. And they're fun, friendly, and they don't mind, you going and learning from them. They don't mind. And I swear, I promise to you guys, when I went and shadowed them that day, the top people who are closing and making this money, and I listened to what they were saying, their pitch was 1/18th the amount of time, the length, the energy that I was using. So there's something called overburn. You can actually, talk too much, and don't worry, in upcoming podcasts, I'm going to talk about that in videos. I'm going to do a lot of these. So, that's what happened. That's what really happened. I was burning myself out and talking too much. So when you actually learn what the top people are doing, just like how he's saying, other people are doing 15 to 20 more than him. Well, guess what? What do you think happens? You can technically learn what they're doing, implement it, and do it kind of in your own way. Okay? So understand that. So my question for you is, how do you deal with customers telling you that they aren't interested and don't want to talk to you? Don't want to talk to me and not interested. Okay. I have tried to remain indifferent, but it is really something I struggle with. Not taking the negativity personally. If I can figure out something as simple as that, I think I would really love this job. Okay. So Adam, thank you so much for that email. I promise you that is phenomenal. Very good email. You're not the only one out there. Understand this, that there are thousands upon thousands of people in this given moment right now. And people who are listening to this as well are like, dude, I'm struggling with that exact same thing. I know you are because I did. And I know a lot of the thousands upon thousands of people that I teached, at my company, at other people's companies, the thousands of door knockers, they all struggle with this, and it's not hard. It's not hard to understand the concept that, you're not alone, and that's okay. People who are at the top still struggle with this, but know how to overcome it quick, which I'm going to teach you. So jumping into the first thing you said, customers aren't interested and, don't want to talk to you. And I don't know how you dress when you go out there or how you look, or I'm not going to even comment on that, but I'm going to tell you in general. Okay. In general, this is sad, and especially in the United States and Canada, right? We judge each other. How many times have you gone to the mall and looked at somebody with ripped jeans or, a hat backwards? Probably when you guys are watching this with me. I'm doing it because I still have the lighting in the studio set up where there's kind of shadows, and I want to get this information to you. So I put it backwards because if I put it forward, it's going to kind of block out my face. Anyways, aside from that, how are you presented when you knock on the door? How do you talk? Are you nervous? Hi, I'm so-and-so, and this is what we're doing. What are the things you are actually saying? Okay. And I'm not going to get into too much of the details right now about that, because that's a podcast for itself. That's a video lesson for itself. But the details of that, you guys, I promise you, you get not interested and don't want it off the bat, and customers telling you not wanting to talk to you, because, it's the way you're presenting yourself. Confidence. In the email, I can kind of already tell that, your confidence levels, you're kind of, I'm not saying in life in general, but, life does have a big role to play with it. But in general, your actual confidence levels when you're going out there and you're knocking on doors, out of a 10, and I get my salespeople all the time to do this. Hey, on a level from 1 to 10 on a piece of paper, where are you? 1 being the least, 10 being the most. Where are you in level of confidence right now, and that you're going to close a sale on that next door? So before they walk up to the door, I feel like I'm a 6. Okay. Well, if you're a 6 out of a 10, there's a reason why you're going to get not interested and you're not going to close that sale. I promise you. If you're feeling great, you're feeling wonderful, you're feeling amazing, and you put yourself down as a 9 and you really live it, really feel it. Don't just put a 9, but really inside you, the way you're talking. Hey, how's it going? Hi, you're the homeowner here. Okay. Yeah, this is what we're doing. And if a 10 out of 10 isn't like, hey, hi, now. No, it's not that. It's how strong you feel within you. Top salespeople, they can talk strong and stern, but know that I'm focused. Just like if it was hockey or a basketball game, you're ready to take that shot. You are super laser targeted, focused on scoring that basket, shooting and scoring on that goalie. Okay? Hockey, right? That's how you got to be at every single door. Every single door. The doors you're not like that, I promise you, your customers will mirror, and you need to mirror your customers. They'll mirror you. You need to take control. Okay. And a lot of people struggle with that because in their personal lives, in their daily lives, their daily routine, well, they're not confident enough, themselves. It's the same with telemarketers. You telemarketers out there, those people who are telemarketing, obviously watch your laws and do, that's a whole nother topic of itself, but make sure you pick up that phone. You're super confident because people, it's a brutal game out there, but it pays phenomenal. And door-to-door sales is awesome because you can get the job done right then and there on the spot.
Strategically designed with the door knocker in mind. Best door knocking tips and advice at doortodoormastery.com.
So don't forget to head over to doortodoormastery.com. That's my website, okay? It's my blog, and I talk everything door-to-door sales, everything you need to know door-to-door sales. It keeps growing. My subscriber base is phenomenal. Thank you guys so much. It's a community. It really is a community that we're building. And I'm grateful and I'm honored because when I got started, I thought I was going to have, a bunch of people in the United States and, it's going to be 90%. But wow, Europe, big shout out to Europe. There's so many people from clear across the world who are, joining even the members area, who are subscribed, giving me feedback. I love you guys. I couldn't do it without you. You have no idea what it means to me. Like, you have no idea seriously what it means to me. Thank you so much. because, without you guys, I really couldn't do the show. It really wouldn't be worth it. And, it's taken off quick. It's going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to grow it together. And, stay tuned. Stay tuned. All my links, if you want to go on YouTube and actually go to youtube.com/ENTADR, I believe. I haven't checked that in a while. ENTADR, I also have, let me get this right here. I also have a podcast called The Entrepreneur Adrenaline Show. If you want more, let me just do this here, ENTADR.com. If you guys want more information about, business and business ideas and business tips now, I think I have a podcast about that. I've been slowly jumping more into this because, I want to definitely take this off the ground running. And as things settle, I'll be able to do both a little bit more. But yeah, if you want to go to there, let me see if that was right. Facebook.com/ENTADR. You can, like me on Facebook as well. But let's see if that YouTube.com/ENTADR. I think, did I change it? No, that's not. Sorry for giving you guys that link. If you go on youtube.com and you type anything really door to door, what is my channel? There we go. My channel. I know they were trying to switch that. Let me go into my links here. Get you guys or you know what? On the blog, that's the easiest way to do it. What am I talking about? You go on the blog, doortodoormastery.com. On the right-hand side, you'll see my YouTube icon. Just click on that. That'll go directly to my YouTube channel. You can even subscribe to my YouTube channel from my site. I have a little widget on the side to the right if you actually click on there, so that, whenever I create these videos, which I'm going to be creating a lot more now, you'll be able to easily access them. So, yeah, that kind of sums up this week's episode. I really want to keep it nice and clean and create more episodes for you guys. You guys are powerhouses. I mean that. Doing door-to-door sales isn't easy. However, it's not hard. It's simple. Keep it simple, and I promise you, you'll see results. And once you do, the earning potential is just endless. Thank you so much for listening once again. You guys are the greatest. Subscribe, and we will see you in the next episode.
You have been listening to the Door to Door Mastery Podcast. It is time for you to take your door knocking to the next level. Receive Paul's free video series teaching you how to master your opener pitch, understanding your features and benefits, and knowing when and how to close the sale. Be a successful door knocker. Be there now. DoorToDoorMastery.com. That's DoorToDoorMastery.com.